today. These are limited time offers and can change at any time. Call fast. 800-405-2561. 800-405-2561. 800-405-2561. That's 800-405-2561.
Good afternoon and welcome to Picks and Parlays Radio here on the Sports Byline Broadcast Network. I am your host, Chelsa Messenger. You can find us here every day, 1 Pacific, 4 Eastern on weekdays, and also check us out on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. If you search Picks and Parlays, we're really easy to find. Usually the first thing that pops up, and we always appreciate your feedback. We've got a busy day in sports betting. NFL is finally back. Yes, regular season is finally upon us. We've got Packers, Bears, and you know we're talking about that tonight. But of course, Antonio Brown, being the person that needs attention, he said, you know what, the NFL regular season starting, it's not going to hog the spotlight from me. The Raiders are now planning to suspend Antonio Brown after he got in some kind of altercation with Mike Mayock. So if you're a Raiders fan, my thoughts and prayers are with you through this dramatic time. But in the meantime, we'll be talking NFL picks for tonight's game, as well as a couple other games for this weekend. And then we've got MLB rapid fire picks, 2 expert handicappers, 7 games, 7 picks, and hopefully 7 ways to make you guys some money. And then more rapid fire picks, this time with college football, because this weekend is upon us and there's plenty of college football games and we've got a lot of games to get to. We've got, well, I can't even count them. We've got a lot of games, including some of the big ones, LSU, Texas. We'll be diving into that today as well, and some of these lines and some things you need to avoid when you see some of these lines and some of these big numbers, because I know some of these big schools are playing some smaller opponents in week 2, and some of these lines are going to be pretty big. How you can avoid the overreaction factor, because especially I think with Auburn, I think that win was kind of a Band-Aid for a lot of bad things in that game against Oregon. Yeah, they won, but I don't know. Bo Nix didn't look that good until the 4th quarter. So they're laying a big number against Tulane. Can they cover it? And yes, I am ready for some football. I saw a comment flash on the screen. I'm ready. Are you ready? Because next segment, we're diving into NFL football on Picks and Parlays Radio after the break.
Tired of wearing the same 5 shirts every week? We can help. Stitch Fix is a personal styling service that matches you with your own stylist. Someone who listens to what works for you and delivers clothes right to your door. So you take the hassle out of shopping and find new styles that leave you feeling great. It starts with a simple profile you create in just minutes. Explore different styles and leave notes for your stylist about what you like. For a small $20 styling fee, your clothes are hand-selected for you based on your profile, and then delivered to you so you can try them on in the comfort of your own home. Pay only for what you keep and send everything else back. Plus, the styling fee is applied to what you keep, and shipping, returns, and exchanges are always free. With Stitch Fix, you'll get access to great looks ranging from refined to rugged, and everything is hand-selected to fit your physique and your budget. Discover the stylist and styles that work for you at StitchFix.com. Personal styling for men, women, and kids. StitchFix.com. Personal styling for everybody.
Money Now 100 is not a lender, broker, or agent of any lender or financial advisor. We do not make loans or credit decisions. You must be 18 years or older and a U.S. resident to qualify. This is not an offer or solicitation to lend. I went to MoneyNow100.com and got the $5,000 I needed deposited in my account the next business day. If you need money for any reason, help is here. Go to MoneyNow100.com and get the money you need. Need to pay off credit card debt? Go to MoneyNow100.com. Need your car repaired? Need home improvement money? Visit MoneyNow100.com. If you need fast cash for any reason, go to moneynow100.com. Good, bad, or no credit at all. Go to moneynow100.com. You could get up to $5,000 as soon as the next business day. Go to moneynow100.com on your phone, tablet, or computer. Type in the address bar moneynow100.com. That's moneynow100.com.
Honey, I just switched the family to Boost Mobile and we got so much more.
Awesome. Like what?
We got 4 free LG Stylo 5 phones for the whole family. 4 lines for just $25 per line per month with unlimited gigs. I smashed up the car a bit. And they have a super reliable, super fast nationwide network.
Whoa, 4 free LG... Wait, back up. Did you just say you...
4 free LG Stylo 5 phones? Yep.
No. Something about the car?
Oh, you mean Boost super reliable, super fast network.
Before that, the car smashing thing.
What? The smashing deal we got. 4 lines for just $25 per line per month?
No. Between the 4 lines for $25 per line per month and the unlimited gigs part, you said I smashed up the car a bit.
I did. It's completely smashed. We need a new vehicle. But 4 free phones.
Boost Mobile, the switch that gives you more. Offer ends 9/16/19 or while supplies last. Requires 1 port from eligible carrier and activation. 1 free device per line. Includes mobile optimized data. Additional terms and restrictions apply. Offers and coverage not available everywhere. See boostmobile.com or retailer for full details.
Cleansed. Spring Mountain water, that does nothing for me. Got that from a tap.
And we are back, and Chip's busy talking about purified water. It's NFL Week 1 of the regular season. That's right. No more of this preseason nonsense. We've got real football tonight with the Packers and the Bears, and we've got Chip Chirimbes joining us, who is going to talk about more than just tap water and purified water.
Well, you know, they did Miami actually avoided the hurricane. They sent tons of water to the Bahamas, by the way. Now let's get off the water.
I was wondering where you're going with that.
Well, we'll get off the water and onto the game. The Bears, of course, at home, the season's opener. Surprised that the NFL defending Super Bowl champions aren't involved in this game. That's usually a traditional thing that the NFL does. The Bears won the division last year, 12-4. Very disappointing. Missed kick at the final moments of their playoff game.
Well, and that might be a factor tonight.
It can always be a factor in the NFL because of the way people get conservative at times and they play for 3 as opposed to
and it's the Windy City too.
Yes, and another factors, like you said, are the weather in Chicago. But the Packers, off a 6-9-1 season, are really looking to bounce back. They've made some obvious changes. They have a new head coach, Chelsa, but they've gone 0-4. 0-4 against the NFC North the last 4 times out. As a matter of fact, they lost the last game of the year, thank you very much, to Detroit, 41-0. That's how they closed their year. But they are 7-2 at Chicago against the points. Chelsea 16-5 in the last 21 at Chicago. But so, you know what?
Who are you taking?
I'm going another direction with this because Chelsea, the Packers have gone over in the last 7 of the last 8 times in their opener, and they've gone over 12 of the last 17 games overall. I see this game going over until I see Rodgers looking to show and establish that he is the leader of this team because he's been questioned about what's happened with the coaching staff. So I looked for this to be a lot of scoring here. In the opening games of the season, the Packers like to put some points up. 7-1 the last 8. I think this game goes over.
I think the Packers offense should be pretty strong just because I was saying before the show, I would be worried about any other quarterback under a new head coach and a new offense under Matt LaFleur, but Aaron Rodgers, I'm not worried about. He's been there, he's done that, and he'll probably call some audibles. I think one of the problems is he might be smarter than his head coach, and that's not a knock on LaFleur. It's just because Aaron Rodgers is so skilled at what he does.
And you know what? The quarterback should have that ability. He's a pro. He's been there. When he looks out over the defense and he scans, he can read other people's eyes. He knows what's going on. The coach on the sideline can't see what he can see in that position there. And I'm all for a quarterback audibleizing, calling his own plays, and getting a feel for moving the offense.
Right. I know a lot of people like the Bears in this one. I don't know. I think I like the Packers in this one a little more, especially if you can get it at 2.5. But I think the line's moving.
Well, Chicago's going to 3.5 in places, according to our sources here. It's 3 and 3.5 most likely. If you're going to take the Packers, you're going to get that extra.
That's right.
And you'll be better off with it, too.
Right. Yeah. The under is hit in several Oh, I can't read my writing. I had a good stat lined up, and I couldn't read my writing. But another factor is Mitch Trubisky didn't play in the preseason at all. He is not a veteran guy like Rodgers. I think they should have maybe given him a little more snaps because this is going to be his first, test of game action football.
We know he was their Achilles heel last year. He was their weak point without question. And if they get any kind of passing game together here, they may be able to put it together. But I'm looking for both sides to put enough points on the board to go over the total.
All right, so let's move on to our next game, Falcons-Vikings. I know a lot of people are very high on the Vikings this season to have a turnaround year. They believe in Kirk Cousins, and they've added some more people. The injuries aren't quite as bad. But, the Falcons, year in, year out, are pretty good. They have a really good offense.
Unless you have them in the preseason, of course, and they finally broke a 13-game losing streak in the preseason. What a huge win over Jacksonville. They just crushed them 31-12, and Jacksonville, I think, went 0-4 in the preseason as it was. The Vikings were 8-7 last season with one push. They opened up like a 5-point favorite on this, have gone down to 3.5. They've won the last 3 meetings against Atlanta, and Matt Ryan just hasn't performed on the road. Falcons haven't performed on the road. They're 7-9-1 last season under Quinn. Quinn losing that Super Bowl a number of years ago when they had it locked up against, they blew it. And the play calling in the second half was atrocious, and it cost them. And I think there's a lack of confidence with the organization here with him, and I don't think they can win with him. I think there's a stigmata with him.
Stigmata? Wow.
Well, it's in real estate.
Sounds scary.
Well, it is, because people actually demolish homes if there's been eerie crimes committed to them, and this is the type of thing that's happened here. People are deserting this Atlanta team.
I think Atlanta fans in general would agree with you, because being an Atlanta fan has been really tough over the past 15 years or so, because they've come really close. Georgia, UGA has come really close to winning some big games. The Falcons, of course, blowing that terrible lead. But, they still have a really good offense. Matt Ryan is back. He's one of the better quarterbacks in the NFL. A guy named Julio Jones, he's pretty good too. Devontae Freeman is healthy. So I think their offense is going to be a little better. But it is in Minnesota.
Well, that's the key factor here, Chelsea. I'm glad you mentioned it, because not only have the Vikings won 5 of the last 6 against the points against the NFC South at home, but they're 7-2 at home in September in the last 2 years under this last 3 years under his coaching. 37-14 in non-conference games. That's huge. Chelsa winning 37 of 51 decisions against the points against non-conference opponents, and 21-5 at home in these non-conference games. I think the Vikings are the side here. I think they're going to have their way with Atlanta here. I'm really not a Falcon fan, and I'm not impressed with what I saw in the preseason, even though they did close with a win over the Jaguars.
Right, and the Falcons didn't play many of their starters in the preseason. And Dan Quinn apparently does not care at all about the preseason.
No, we discussed that.
Right, yeah. All right, so let's move on to another interesting one. The Giants and the Cowboys. Ezekiel Elliott is now back, but he will be limited. They say that he'll get 20 to 25 snaps, which isn't a whole lot. And I think if you're smart, you don't play him that much. So I don't think Zeke's going to be a huge factor in this one. It's going to be more Tony Pollard. So, yeah, where are you leaning on this one?
Well, guess what? Ezekiel Elliott's going to be there, but surprise, surprise, he's not the best running back on that field, and that goes to the Giants. Saquon Barkley, of course, is the best running back.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Tony Pollard. I was
no, not at all. The Giants have the best running back in this game. He had put up the most offensive yards from scrimmage last year, and maybe a little bit more size than say Bell, who's now with the Jets. He reminds me a lot of Bell, where he gets the ball in the backfield and he breaks a lot of tackles, but he's got a little bit more strength, and what great breakaway speed he has. So I think the Giants have an advantage there. They come in 7-0 in their last 7 road games, Chelsea, and their only problem is when they play Dallas. They're 0-4 in the last 4 meetings.
Which is a problem if it's a divisional game.
And though they are 4-1-1 against the NFC East, 0-4 against Dallas, straight up, and against the points the last 4 times they're meeting. Their best advantage here is that Dallas, under Garrett, just doesn't seem to get ready in the openers. They're 1-4 in the last 5 openers, but they've gone under the total a number of times in these contests, and I think Dallas is going to be conservative here. They've gone 4 to 5 of those openers are going under. And now with Elliott getting a limited playing time, I think they're going to be a little bit more conservative. And the Giants, of course, have had an inept offense now for a number of years, even with Manning there, and Barkley certainly gave them the spark last year. But right now, I still see these two going under. As a matter of fact, the last 3 times they've played Chelsea, the score has been an average of 12 points under the total. So I'm looking to play Dallas and the Giants under. I'll have a side for you on Sunday if you're interested, as well as a side in that Green Bay-Chicago game tonight.
One thing I would add is that, yeah, Zeke's not going to be there, but the Cowboys' offensive line will still be there, and they're still really good, and Dak Prescott still a really good quarterback, so there's still plenty of pieces that make the Cowboys good. The problem is the number's kind of big, 7.5.
It is. It's growing, too, and the interest in the Cowboys here has been very, very strong, and I just don't see it. Originally, I was thinking that maybe this number is so strong and Dallas isn't as that much better because of their offensive line, like you had mentioned. But I think the fact that this is the first game of the year, and to me, this play has got to come. It's got to come under the total.
Right. We'll see. All right. So those are Chip's picks. When we come back, we've got rapid fire MLB picks. 7 games, 7 results that we hope are winners that you can cash on. And after that, college football still to come. So stick with us after the break. We've got plenty more show to get to on Picks and Parlays Radio. Stick with us. We'll be back.
Attention to anyone that's written a book or wants to write a book. The process is not that complicated. Take a first step. Even if you write a page a day, you'll build momentum and your book will become a reality. The hard part is getting it published. That's when you need to call Page Publishing. They've got hundreds and hundreds of thank yous from different new authors, just like you. They make the process of publishing your new book and getting it sold online a simple process. You can learn how simple it is right now by calling for your free Page Publishing New Author Submission Kit. One quick 3-minute phone call, that's all it takes to get free information and learn how you can get your book published. Pick up your phone right now and call us 24 hours a day at this number. 800-603-0885. 800-603-0885. 800-603-0885. That's 800-603-0885.
Do you use the blue pill to charge your sex life? Have you been thinking about trying the blue pill? What if we can promise you the same results for less than $3 a pill? If you're paying $20 a pill for the other pills, you're getting taken to the cleaners. Our pill delivers the exact same results for less than $3. We'll do the math for you. You'll save more than $16 a pill for the same results. Want more? We'll give you 40 blue pills or 40 yellow pills for $99 and add 4 more pills free. You save more than $500. You don't have to be a rocket scientist to know what to do next. You need to call and get your 44 pills for just $99. Stop overpaying for the other blue pills. Call us and start saving a ton of money for the exact same results. Ordering is fast and easy with your pills delivered to your door in a non-marked package. 800-223-0992. 800-223-0992. 800-223-0992. That's 800-223-0992.
Hi, I'm Dr. Robert Clapper, Chief of Orthopedic Surgery at Cedars-Sinai Medical Group in Los Angeles, California. Dedicated to your health, your life, and your sports. As a weekend warrior, you know about sports injuries and pain. Exercise is an important element in keeping your body's core in good shape to minimize sports injuries. But when you are in pain, there is one product that I recommend to my patients, and that is Blue Goo Gel. Blue Goo consists of a proprietary formula developed specifically for the treatment of inflammation and general muscle aches and strains. I recommend Blue Goo for my patients coping with hip and knee pain before surgery, especially bursitis and tendinitis. Give Blue Goo a try. Call 1-888-330-0123 and you'll receive a 1-week supply of Blue Goo absolutely free. The makers of Blue Goo are even paying the shipping. The number again is 1-888-330-0123. If you want more information on Blue Goo, visit online at www.dothegoo.com.
Now available at select Big 5 stores near you.
And we are back here on Picks and Parlays Radio on the Sports Byline Broadcast Network. I am your host, Chelsa Messenger. You can find us here every day, 1 Pacific, 4 Eastern, and also check us out on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. If you search Picks and Parlays, we're very easy to find. Right now, we've got some MLB rapid fire picks with 7 games and hopefully 7 ways to win. We've got Craig Trapp, Tony T joining us. Hello, guys. Are you ready to rumble?
We are ready.
ready for it.
All right, we've got to fit in a lot of games, so let's get to cracking. Rangers Orioles. The Orioles have John Means on the mound, one of their better starters for the O's, 10-9 with a 3.55 ERA against Colby Allard of the Rangers, 3-0 with a 4.33 ERA. The Orioles are favored in this one.
They are favored, Chelsa, because their main man, Justin Means, on the mound and at home, pitched well, an ERA under 3. You know, when you watch Oriole games on TV at their park, you see a bunch of home runs hit. But Means has been avoiding the trouble.
Right. The fact that his ERA is so good despite pitching in the AL East, which means he's facing the Red Sox and the Yankees a whole lot. I mean, it's a testament to him.
Yeah, and you're looking at Rangers lineup with a 26% strikeout rate. We've talked about that in the past with the Rangers. They kind of faded after the All-Star break here. But I know it's dangerous laying odds here with the Orioles, but I can only see that side in this one.
So they're minus 119?
That's correct.
Okay, so you're taking the Orioles?
Orioles.
Craig, don't be so silent.
Listen, the Orioles as favorite, I had to check twice. I was like, they can't be favorite. Yes, okay, another.
Right.
Yes, I can't take that. I have to go to a total here. I just think both of these pitchers are average pitchers.
Oh.
I'm going to take the over here. I'm going to take the.
Well, what's
I'm
the
gonna check
line?
it out. Over 9.5.
9.5 is not that bad of a line either. So it's not like a 14 or something.
I'm going to be rooting for a lot of runs here. I think the bullpens are going to see plenty of action, which both of these bullpens, trash. Just saying.
All right, so let's move on to Miami and Pittsburgh. If you want to call any teams trash, I mean, the Pittsburgh after the All-Star break, not been good. Miami just not a good team in general. It's Eliezer Hernandez on the mound for the Marlins, 3-5, 5.06 ERA against Dario Agrazal, 4-3 with a 4.50 ERA. Guys, thoughts on this one?
Well, you look at this one, to me, it's another total play because you got two offenses or two pitching staffs that just seem to give up runs in bunches, two bullpens that have just been overused all year, and that's really the recipe for baseball this year has been the bullpens have just been terrible. I think this line should be at least 9.5 or 10. I'd still like the over. I'm going to take the over here as I think both the Marlins and Pirates score 5+ in this one, and what maybe is a trend for me today.
Oh, man. What's the line?
Over 9.
Tony?
Taking the underdog, Marlins plus 130. Hernandez, a little better form, a team of 5-5 in his past 10 starts. Agrazal has just been crushed, giving up 20 earned runs in his past 24 innings. Past 10 games, Pirates bullpen approaching 6. Marlins a little better performance out of their bullpen of late. I got to take the plus money here, plus 130 with the Marlins.
All right, moving on to the Blue Jays and the Rays. Trent Thornton going for the Blue Jays, and he's not been great against Tampa Bay. 14 runs in 11 innings. I know it's a bit of a small sample size, but sometimes when these guys think the other team has their number, it can be a factor. Austin Pruitt going for the Rays, 2-0, 4.78 ERA, including 5 1/3 scoreless against the Indians in his last time out.
I'm going to take the Rays here at the run line, plus 100, minus 1.5 runs. Yeah, we talked about with Thornton, he struggled, and Tampa Bay using an opener in this one. And I really look at this game here with the Blue Jays. Their offense have slowed down a little because they've been pitching against really good, hitting against really good pitching staffs in Atlanta and Houston of late. And again, they're seeing the Rays staff here, and I think their offense is slowing down a bit. I'll take the run line here with the Rays at plus 100.
Craig?
Nothing spells over. So over 9 in this one. I think the Blue Jays, Thornton, like you said, hasn't been good. I think Tampa, they'll put up at least 7 runs here. I do like the run line a little bit as well. Tampa's been lately, they just had some really big letdowns, and so that's why I didn't like the run line. I think, and it kind of seemed like an overnight for me. So over 9, why not? 3 for 3 on the overs.
I think somebody's been watching the Mets bullpen implode.
Maybe that has something. And, life's too short to bet the under, as they say.
Well, I will say it's a lot more fun
yes.
To bet these games when you're taking an over as opposed to the under, especially in football. Baseball, maybe not so much because, a big strikeout in the game. That can be fun. Let's move on to the Twins and the Red Sox. The Twins are underdogs in this one at plus 142. Martin Perez on the mound, 9-6, 4.89 ERA against Nathan Eovaldi, who is still getting stretched out after coming out of the pen. He's 1-0 with a 6.23 ERA, but if you remember, he was really good in the World Series last year, so I don't know if fall is his number. Guys, what do you think on this one?
Well, Boston, obviously a big public team. Probably a little overbet here, but I do think Boston's going to win this game. Its line is minus 160 with a total, and this one is 11.5. I kind of liked the over, and then I saw 11.5, and I was like, well, that might be a little much. I was hoping for 10.5. So I think the better play is Boston. I don't love the odds at minus 160. I probably wouldn't bet it at 160, but I think they win. That's the problem.
So what about a run line bet?
You could probably take the plus 1.5 of Twins. I'm not a big plus 1.5 guy unless I can get plus 150 still with it. So to me, I would take Boston Red Sox. I think it's going to be a close game. I could see a 6-5 type game. So to me, I wouldn't play the run line. I would just stay away from this one, to be very honest.
All right, Tony.
We have two good hitting lineups here, and I like the Twins at the plus money, plus 142. Martin Perez, 3 good starts out of 4, but Eovaldi at home. His past home starts, he's allowed 10 earned runs in 7 innings. That's a little scary there in Fenway. So I'll look to the Twins plus the 142.
Right, the Twins have one of the better pitching staffs in baseball, but the Red Sox, man, are they good hitters, and especially at Fenway. Let's move on to the Cubs and the Brewers. The Cubs are favored in this one at minus 120. Jose Quintana on the mound, 12-8, 3.90 ERA, and 8-1 with just a 3 ERA in his last 11, so he's finding his form. Chase Anderson on the mound for the Brewers, 6-4 with a 4.58. And last time out, he pitched at Wrigley, and it did not go that well. He gave up 5 runs in 4 innings, and Nick Castellanos, who's been great for the Cubs, hit 2 home runs.
Yeah, with Castellanos, he was the player we talked about at the trade deadline. The Cubs need someone to hit lefties, and he's been a spark for them. The Cubs have been playing well late, winning some games on the road. Looking at the Cubs here at minus 120, Quintana, well, he's allowed 1 earned run or fewer in 4 of his past 5 starts. I'm not a big fan of Chase Anderson. He's been pounded. 18 earned runs past 4 starts and 16 1/3. Got to look at the Cubs in this one.
Well, I think the key is how bad Chase Anderson been. 2 of those starts, 10 earned runs, 3 games ago. Last time, 5 earned runs, and that was against this Cubs team too. So the Cubs and Quintana, yes, on the road, that kind of is a little scary because the Cubs for the season haven't been very good, but recently a little better, and they're starting to pick things up. Obviously, they got to continue to win if they want to get into the playoffs. I like the Cubs as well. It was part of our parlay. If you go check it out over at our social media channels, our parlay for tonight, this was 1.5 of the parlay.
Right, and I think this time of year the Cubs know how to really turn it on. They have a lot of veterans on their team. They have Ben Zobrist back, who could add a pop to their lineup and their locker room. He's one of the better locker room guys in all of baseball. I know everybody who's played with him really likes him. So, yeah, I mean, Cubs are bad on the road.
The one thing is the Cubs usually are overbet, so this one could go a little crazy. I'm surprised the line hasn't gone up already.
Well, they're only minus 120, so
right,
it's not that bad.
It's up to minus 125 in some spots. And usually as it gets closer to game time, the favorites and public money type teams, and the Cubs are maybe the biggest public money team outside this year, outside of the Astros and the Dodgers. So
despite not being as good.
Right. Well, I mean, it's on how big your fan base is.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Is because like the Astros, it's because they're really good.
Very deserving.
And the Dodgers.
Yes.
Let's move on to the Nats and the Braves. Steven Strasburg, a big name on the mound for the Nats, going against Max Fried for the Braves. Thoughts on this one?
All right. I like the Nationals here at minus 115. Strasburg formed really good right now. 2 earned runs over his past 3 starts, 21 innings of work. 30 strikeouts. My goodness, he's awesome. 3-0 his past 3 starts against the Braves. Fried has been hit up a little bit of late. And, of course, over the past 5 games, I like the Nationals hitting 298. The bullpen's pitching well, an ERA under 2. Look here at Washington at the minus price, minus the 115.
Well, we're going against the over trend for tonight in this one. This is going to be the one game that goes under. I think it's under 9. I think that's a gift. I thought this one might be 8 or 8.5. So getting it at 9, I think is quality. I also like Strasburg, but I do not like really playing the Braves. Braves at home are a really good team, and I think Max Fried will keep them in this game, and that means an under game for me. So let's take the under 9 and what should be a really nice pitching matchup and maybe a potential down the road matchup in the playoffs.
Right, in the National League. We'll see if the Braves can be a little better in the postseason because that's been their issue.
Yeah.
They're decent. They're really good in the regular season. And like I mentioned earlier before, Atlanta fans of any team, Man, they've faced some heartbreak. Bless their hearts, as we like to say in the South.
Yes.
Moving on to Seattle at Houston. Wade Miley on the mound. One of their better pickups. He is 13-4 with a 3.06 ERA going against Marco Gonzalez. Once again, handwriting is terrible. 14-11 with a 4.30 ERA.
Not a whole lot you can do with this one. Houston is minus 270. Total at 9.5. So if you don't want to play the total here, you got to go to the run line and the Astros. Usually these huge favorite teams like the Dodgers and the Astros, if you look at their run line numbers at the end of the season, usually you actually lose money if you bet them every game run line. The Astros and the Dodgers are the rare exception so far that they've actually been winning these games and not winning by just one. They've been winning by 3, 4, 5 runs. I think with Wade Miley, I think he stays hot. I think Gonzalez gets lit up tonight. Lay the run line here and get a little better value with the Astros.
I'm with Craig on this one. Yeah, I'm definitely looking at the Houston Astros run line. Houston has absolutely crushed Seattle pitching this year, and Houston has to keep winning because they want to finish ahead of the Yankees. They want home field advantage that the Yankees and Houston meet because we know for both staffs, especially with the Yankees, their pitching, starting, and relief do not pitch well on the road. So Houston going after home field in the AL playoffs.
The only problem I've had with Houston lately is the run support. They've won a lot of these games where their pitchers are incredible by just 2 runs or something. So just a little cautionary tale there. But also they see the Mariners a lot, and they've seen Marco Gonzalez a lot. So late in the year, when you've seen a pitcher many times, you know what he has. So I think this lineup is very familiar with him. When we get back, we've got college football. Wake up. We've got more rapid fire picks when we get back on Picks and Parlays Radio.
Hey travelers, do you want to save money on your next flight? Then pick up the phone and call. That's right, call, because the best prices are not online. They're with SmartFares. See, SmartFares has special deals with the airlines. When they have unsold seats, they use SmartFares to fill them. So you get airline tickets at ridiculously low prices. Our prices are too low to publish online. With the extra money you'll save, you can book another trip, or treat yourself to dinner or shopping. So stop searching all of those travel sites to find the lowest price on your next flight. Let one of our SmartFares expert travel agents find ridiculously low prices for you. Call SmartFares today and get the best price on your next flight. Guaranteed. Also, save up to 50% off business and first class tickets.
855-325-1780. 855-325-1780. That's 855-325-1780.
Hi, honey. Just picked up the kids. First week of school done. Maybe we celebrate with Chili's 3 for $10. Windows up or down, Sammy? Yeah, they love the crispers. And hey, sweetie, let's practice food later, okay? Thank you. All right, gotta run. Riley, stop holding your breath, buddy. Riley! Okay, love you. See you at Chili's.
It couldn't be easier with Chili's 3 for $10. Starter, entree, and drink, always just $10. With your favorite entrees like hand-battered chicken crispers, our Just Bacon Burger, and more. Together, we Chili's. Available at participating restaurants only. Prices may vary in Hawaii and Alaska.
Stop by Lowe's for everything you need to prepare for an entertaining fall. Give your deck or porch a fresh look and outstanding protection from the elements with the best selection of trusted stain brands from Cabot, Valspar, and Thompson's Water Seal. Only at Lowe's. Plus, update your old appliances now and get up to 40% off appliance special values. All projects have a starting point. Start with Lowe's. Appliance offer valid through September 12th. While supplies last. See store for details. U.S. only.
Now you can fly anywhere in the world and pay discount prices on your airline tickets. Book a flight today to London, Paris, Madrid, or anywhere else you want to go. And pay a lot less guaranteed. Call the International Travel Department right now at Low Cost Airlines.
800-754-4531. 800-754-4531. That's 800-754-4531.
And we are back for more Picks and Parlays Radio here on the Sports Byline Broadcast Network. I am your host, Chelsa Messenger, and we've got plenty more to talk about on today's show. College football, it's week 2. We had plenty of drama in week 1. But you know what? We're diving in for more action. We've got Craig Trapp and Tony T back for another segment of Rapid Fire Picks. Guys, let's start with Northern Illinois at Utah. I know Craig is a big Utah guy. The number 13 team in the nation, and coming off that big win over BYU, 30 to 12. Very impressive. Their defense looked good. Craig, I know you want to talk about this one.
I'll start this one off at Chelsea. I'm now on the Utah bandwagon. That was an impressive win, beating a rival there last week, 30 to 12. Really strong run attack, registering for 260 yards, 5.5 yards per rush. And remember last year, these two teams met, and Northern Illinois had a difficult time moving the football. Only 6 points scored by the Huskies. And speaking of the Huskies, I watched their game on replay on one of the streaming networks when they faced Illinois State, and they struggled with 0-0 for a long time, low scoring. They kind of pulled away late, 24-10. I was not impressed with Northern Illinois' offense, and I'm going to lay the points here, minus 21.5 with Utah. Utah, a very good favorite. They've covered 14 to 21 times as a favorite.
Well, when you look at this one, it's called get on the Utah bandwagon right now, because get on it now, because if you wait another couple weeks, you're going to be laying way bigger numbers than probably you would have if you'd have looked at the advanced lines on these, because Utah is going to win and win impressively because they have maybe the best defense in the country. At worst, it's a top 5 defense. They have a veteran quarterback, 2 good running backs now because they got that depth when last year when they had late injuries in the running back and quarterback position. So they actually have depth at multiple skill positions. I love Utah here, minus 21.5. I love the under at 43.5, but my top play would be the Utah Utes at minus 21.5, as I think they win like 30-3 type game. I just think this is a dominating performance by a very, very good Utah defense.
I think no one's questioning that Utah's good, and that's why that number's so big at 21.5. But I think the cautionary pick there is because last year Utah only won 17-6. Granted, it was on the road, but I think that's why some people might be cautious about laying these many points. But that big win over BYU, I mean,
there's a drop-off in Northern Illinois. I saw one in that game against Illinois State. There looks to be a drop-off there in that team.
From last year.
From last
year. They're not nearly as good. And Northern Illinois has been good for, it seems like, 2 decades?
Right.
Going way back when they played in, I think, the Orange Bowl one year with Lynch at the quarterback. And, you know, they were good.
Paxton Lynch. I was trying to remember who went there.
Was it Paxton Lynch? Paxton Lynch was the Memphis guy.
He was a Memphis guy.
But his name was Lynch too, I think. But anyway, they were very good for a multitude of years and have been good. But to me, it's just Utah. It's a different class of teams, and Northern Illinois hasn't stayed up with the best teams in the MAC right now.
All right, let's go on to Central Michigan at Wisconsin. Wisconsin, the number 17 team in the nation, and coming off a very impressive win over South Florida, 49-0. Yeah, I think they covered in that one. Central Michigan, 38-21 win over FCS Albany in their first game of the season. And of note, Jim McElwain is their coach this year. Yeah, the guy that coached at Florida and supposedly had an affair with a shark. But guys, what are your thoughts on this one?
Well, I'm pro Shark, but I'm not playing Central Michigan, or I'm not playing the side of this. I'm going to play the total. I think Wisconsin's running attack, we saw that they got back to where they needed to be last year. They had struggled at times running the ball, which we know that is what they're calling.
Well, Jonathan Taylor didn't. He rushed for 2,000 yards.
But they didn't do it. It was a lot of where they had games where he exploded, but he couldn't do it against Northwestern when they needed to.
When they needed it.
I think Wisconsin, they looked amazing against what I thought South Florida had a chance to beat them. So
I think a lot of people did.
I think this one goes over. I think this one goes way over. I think Wisconsin scores 49 by themselves. So over 52 is an absolute joke here. I think this one goes way over.
I think it might be a bad day for the MAC. This game looks like a really ugly one, because here's the issue with Chippewas. They were a one-win team last year. Yeah, the coaching change, but only one returning starter in the front seven for Western Michigan. That's dangerous when you're facing that big offensive line.
I was going to say that's going to be a huge mismatch, because Wisconsin is known for those huge lines and really winning in the trenches.
Yep, mid-major team, not experienced defense against a Wisconsin team. This sets up again a blowout game, and Jack Doan didn't look too bad when he needed to throw the football last week.
So do we know what's the line on this
35.
one? Wow, that is big. But I guess Wisconsin won by 49 last week. Let's move on to LSU and Texas, because we need to dedicate some time to this one, because it's a huge game. LSU going on the road to Texas, a Texas team that beat Georgia last season in the Sugar Bowl, I believe. Yeah, a lot of people like Texas. They think they're back finally, but LSU, man, did they look good in their first game. 55-3 win over a good Georgia Southern team.
Yes, and that was, to me, like we talked about earlier in the week, I think LSU was the most impressive team of any team last week. Offensive line, defensive line. I think this is where LSU has the advantage in the front seven. 6 starters returning in the front seven for LSU. All 4 starters returning on the defensive line. 3 first-year starters for Texas on the offensive line. That's where this game is going to be won for LSU, is in the trenches, and I think laying the 6.5 is the play here with LSU.
Well, this is going to be my bookie buster play of the week on Saturday, so I won't have a play on this, and that's a side on that one. I do think the under here is not a bad play. I think LSU defense, they don't want to get into an up-down. That's just not their style to score. If they do score, that's a lot of times it's because their defense puts them in really good short field positions. And I think Texas, I don't think they can manhandle this team. So I think it's going to be a lower scoring game. So I'm going to take the under as a lean here. But like I said, my top play is going to be up for sale at picksandparlays.net.
Just a few other things of note. Texas 5-0-1 against the spread as a home dog since 2015. In some of those years, they have not been very good. And this year, they're a lot better. Their defense, however, has been a problem. Last year, they allowed 26 points per game. Meanwhile, LSU has normally been a really good, stout defense, and last year their offense was much improved. There's a lot more confidence in Joe Burrow, their quarterback. So it should be a good one. I think the question here is if LSU can cover, because I think LSU win. Oh, I don't know. I don't even like. It's a tough one to take.
It's tough to lay. Again, you're on the road here, laying the points, but when you got to put your faith on that LSU defense and offensive line as well for the Tigers, because they look really good. Georgia Southern is a good team, and they just manhandled the Georgia Southern last week. And that's not Georgia State, who was the bad team of those two. I was impressed with LSU's play last week.
I'm really torn up because Texas beat a really good Georgia team in the Sugar Bowl, and I think Georgia was a better team than LSU was last year. So
sometimes bowl results.
I'm staying away from this one.
Bowl results can be deceiving when teams don't reach their pinnacle, don't reach their goal.
Yeah.
Right.
And don't play everybody in the bowl. Not everybody gets, some guys set out, get injuries. If there's any question, they don't play if they're going to be high draft picks. So to me, bowl, unless they're playing in the playoff, one of the playoff games, it's, those games are outliers.
I just see this one as I can argue both sides until game day.
Yeah. Those make it the most fun to bet and the most fun to watch.
Speaking of games like that, Tulane and Auburn, this is what I was looking at. Because Auburn, obviously they're coming off a big win over Oregon, and they're ranked 10th in the nation because of it. Yeah, it was exciting, and they looked good in the fourth quarter, but the rest of the game, they didn't look that great. They probably shouldn't have won that game, and they're big favorites against Tulane. What's the line in that one?
Auburn's favored by 18, and the total is set at 52. Was 7-2 last week. These two teams involved my 2 losses. I bet against Tulane. I bet against Auburn. I lost on both of these. So this is like one of those teams, and you, as a handicapper, it's like, oh man, what do I do now? But I'm not going to be fooled twice by Tulane. I think Tulane's a lot better team. I think Auburn's coming off a huge win, huge letdown spot. Obviously, when you come back home after the dramatic win at the end, I think there's a letdown here. I think Auburn wins by double digits in that 10, 11, 12, 13 range, but I don't think they can cover over the key number of 17. I'll take Tulane and the 18 points.
Tulane built a pretty good running game. And don't be fooled by last week's result. That's a pretty good FIU team on a program under Butch Davis.
And they still won, too.
42-14.
42-14, convincingly.
Was a convincing win against a Butch Davis coach team. And I have a lot of respect for Butch Davis and his FIU squad. That was a big win. They ran the football for 350 yards. 7.1 yards a carry. Their quarterback, James McMillan, 14 of 18 for 200 yards passing. So they got efficiency there offensively. And again, you don't have to win. You just got to cover.
Right. And 18 points is a lot.
Game could land 10, could land 17. You win no matter who wins.
Right. And Gus Malzahn is 2-8-2 against the spread when he is favored at home by double digits. So history is not on his side there. Auburn has the tendency to play in these heart-racing games for some reason or another. It seems like they play to their competition. And that's why I have trouble taking Auburn here, just because, I don't know, that's a lot of points against a good Tulane team.
Agreed.
I guess we won't have any disagreement there.
That would disagree that one.
Right.
Unless Craig likes the over.
No.
No? Okay.
That's only for baseball.
I know that.
Too late. Yeah, I'm over on all these. No, I'm just kidding.
All right, let's move on to Buffalo and number 15, Penn State. Buffalo is coming off a 10-win season, but they lose a lot of those starters from last season. Meanwhile, Penn State is coming off a huge 79-7 win over Idaho. Yeah, it's Idaho, but still that's a lot of points to score. So what's the line and what's the total on this one?
The Buffalo is getting 29.5 points. So, I
Wow.
mean, you're getting a lot. You should get a lot. I even see a 30 out there. Over-unders at set of 56. Tony, who you like in this one?
As I said before, it's not going to be a very good day for the MAC. It's going to be a very bad day for the MAC.
Bless their hearts.
I'm going to lay the points with Penn State. You know, Buffalo's inexperienced. Only 5 starters return on offense, only 3 to the defense. That's the key. Those mid-major teams that aren't experienced defensively going to get roughed up against the Penn State offensive line. Penn State should be able to run the football. They ran up the score against Idaho, which I like, because if they're up, it looks like they're going to continue. Franklin, the head coach, will run up the score, and you need him to do that when you're laying 29.5.
Right, and it is at home, and that's quite the atmosphere for an inexperienced Buffalo team. And they lost the MAC Offensive Player of the Year in Tyree Jackson, so that's another hit to Buffalo because, yeah, they won 10 games last season, but they lost a lot of guys.
Yep.
This was a tough one. Because 29.5, 30 points is like, you look at the end of the year, even the really good teams last year.
That is a lot of points.
There's times they don't cover. I don't think I would play this game, but if you made me put as Chip says, put a gun to my head, I hope nobody's putting a gun to my head, but I would take Buffalo Bulls and pray that late they don't give up that late touchdown. Because it's going to come right down to the end when you get this many points.
Right, because then it's backups probably playing.
Absolutely.
When you're dealing with these type of point spreads, I'm more comfortable in the non-conference early on than I am late in the season. If I see a plus 30 like in the last 2 weeks of the season, I'm all over the underdog.
Yep.
Right.
Because they know each other better.
Well, and there's no reason for these teams to beat people by 30.
Well, do you really want to beat someone in your conference and then have to face them the next year when maybe and they run it up on you?
Yeah. All right. Well, we got to get cracking on our rapid fire picks. We've been stalling.
All right.
This up-tempo offense needs to.
Yeah.
All right. Stanford USC. This is a game where the quarterbacks might both not be playing. KJ Costello is questionable for Stanford after getting hurt last game. USC, their quarterback's out for the season. Thoughts on this one?
I'm going to be quick. Stanford +1 here. I think Costello will play, but if not, we did see that Stanford's defense saw a big improvement over struggling last year. I didn't like what USC looked like after the injury, so I'm going to take Stanford a +1. Plus, Stanford has kind of owned this series recently.
Yeah, I'm bucking heads here with Craig here. I'm going with USC because the freshman now gets practice with the first team, and I think that'll be a difference in his preparation. Also, the air raid offense. Throw the ball a lot. You throw the ball, it releases much faster with USC, so the pressure won't be as much. And they got a pretty good running game. I was not impressed with Stanford's offense last week, so I'm going to take USC laying the point.
I do like Stanford's defense. One more game, Stanford or where was it?
Colorado.
Nebraska, Colorado. Pick real quick.
I like Nebraska -3.5. Tony, this is one of his best plays of the week, so go over to picksandparlays.net and get it.
All right, we're back after the break on Picks and Parlays Radio.
Attention to anyone that's written a book or wants to write a book. The process is not that complicated. Take a first step. Even if you write a page a day, you'll build momentum and your book will become a reality. The hard part is getting it published. That's when you need to call Page Publishing. They've got hundreds and hundreds of thank yous from different new authors, just like you. They make the process of publishing your new book and getting it sold online a simple process. You can learn how simple it is right now by calling for your free Page Publishing New Author Submission Kit. One quick 3-minute phone call, that's all it takes to get free information and learn how you can get your book published. Pick up your phone right now and call us 24 hours a day at this number, 800-603-0885, 800-603-0885, 800-603-0885. That's 800-603-0885.
Not too long ago, it felt good to withdraw your cash from the bank, didn't it? For a vacation or a new car. But today, withdrawing your own cash has become risky. Pat Boone here for Swiss America. According to The Secret War, a new Swiss America white paper, I learned that all banks are now required to spy on you and me for the government, and then report any financial behavior deemed suspicious or unusual. You must read The Secret War. It's free. Truth is, I believe the government's new war against cash is really a war against us all. But the secret is now out. So please, get and read The Secret War.
Pick up your phone and call right now. 800-932-5517. 800-932-5517. 800-932-5517. Once again, that's 800-932-5517. Do you have a problem hearing the television? Do you need to crank up the volume so loud your family is screaming at you? Then put on your TV ears. TV Ears has helped millions of people just like you hear TV loud and clear without cranking up the volume. For about $60 with a 30-day free trial, you can get your own set of TV Ears. When you wear TV Ears, you can mute the TV volume for private listening or let others watch TV with you. Order in the next 10 minutes and take us up on our 30-day home trial and very special price. TV Ears is a brand hearing professionals have trusted for more than 20 years. And through this special radio offer, you can get your very own for just $60. Just mention promo code RADIO. So put on your TV ears and make everyone happy. 800-984-4207. 800-984-4207. 800-984-4207. That's 800-984-4207.
And we are back here on Picks and Parlays Radio on the Sports Byline Broadcast Network. We had a busy show with plenty of games, so for that reason, we're going to get right to our recap of all of today's games, starting off with NFL extravaganza with Chip Chirimbes. Green Bay, Chicago taking the over. Falcons-Vikings taking the Vikings, -3.5. Giants-Cowboys taking the under in that one, 46.5. And our MLB picks, taking the Orioles over the Rangers, the Marlins over the Pirates, the Rays run line over the Blue Jays, Twins over the Sox, and the Cubs over the Brewers, Nats over the Braves, and the Astros run line over the Mariners. I told you we had a lot of games to get to. Moving on to more picks. These are from Craig Trapp, taking the over in the Orioles, Rays, and the teams they're playing in those games, and taking the Sox over the Twins, and the Braves Nats taking the under in that game. And then finally, our college football picks, taking the Utes over Northern Illinois and Wisconsin to cover that big number over Central Michigan. LSU, Texas, taking LSU. Tulane to cover against Auburn, and Penn State covering that big number over Buffalo. Stanford, USC, taking USC -1. Nebraska, Colorado, taking Colorado +5. Woo! Craig Trapp, here are his picks. He's taking Utah. He's taking the over in Wisconsin's game. He's taking Tulane over Auburn, Buffalo over Penn State to at least cover, and Stanford and Nebraska. Woo! I am sweating. That was our rapid fire. I don't think I'm in game shape to run the up-tempo offense. I'm feeling like Ezekiel Elliott over here. Been relaxing in Cabo. All right, that's our show. We've got more sports betting tips tomorrow at 1 Pacific, 4 Eastern. We'll see you tomorrow on Picks and Parlays Radio.
You're listening.